for two, drinking with you, when drinking was new. Sleeping in the back of my car, we never went far, didn't need to go far. Remembering you, what happened to you? I wonder if we'll meet again. Talk about life since then. Talk about
Hello, everybody. Good evening. All had a brilliant Christmas, brilliant New Year as well. My name's Will. I'm going to be your host tonight alongside Jason. We've got some awesome people on this call tonight. So helping us out, we've got Gary here. We've got Barbara as well. We're going to be hearing from quite a few people tonight. So we wanted to achieve a few things this evening. We wanted to hear from a guy called Pastor Mick, who's been doing some amazing stuff quite close to us with an organisation I'm sure quite a lot of you will be familiar with called Church on the Street. So he's going to be with us quite shortly. We're just waiting on him. We're also going to be hearing from our very own Jason, because, you know, moving into this new year, we think it's really important that we are transparent with you all. So we wanted to talk about face-to-face meetings, but, you know, most importantly, we wanted to just say, you know, what do you think about it? So we've got a link all ready for you guys to have a look. There's going to be a few more things that we're going to talk about, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pass you over to Gary and let him say a bit more about what we've got in store this evening.
Nice one, Will. You were doing an awesome job. You should have carried on, my brother. But yeah, so I just want to say this is I'm just going to be in the background listening. You know, any questions that I'd like to ask, I'm going to ask. But yeah, this is Will's first time chairing one of the meetings, and that we've got an awesome premiere. You know, this is our central team, and this is the first one we've got back after Christmas. So I hope you all enjoy it. You know what I mean, and just like and share, people. Like and share, get yourself involved. There's going to be plenty of time for doing questions. So throw them over and our lovely Babs will get them on the go. And yeah, just enjoy, man. So take it away, boys. Take it away.
Fantastic. So we're essentially, Pastor Mick is, thank you very much for that, Gary. Pastor Mick is running a little bit late. So we're essentially going to hang on for him, but what I think we can do is I'd like to bring in Jason, like I was just speaking about, you know, with us just having our first county LUF for the first time in 2 years with COVID, and obviously with the situation that's constantly developing with the dreaded vid. We just thought it'd be good to get your opinion. So Jason, if you mind just coming in just for a few minutes whilst we're waiting on Pastor Mick.
Yeah, no problem.
Tell us a bit more about that. Cheers, buddy.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's love time. There we go. So yeah, welcome back, everybody. We'll just apologise first and foremost for Christmas Day, unfortunately. Unforeseen circumstances, we couldn't be there. But it was Christmas Day. So brilliant. So why I'm here? well, obviously COVID. I'm actually just coming off lockdown myself because I've actually had it myself recently. So it kind of made us all think about where we're going with this, because obviously it's a big subject in society at the moment and with everybody else and a lot of vulnerable people out there. And that's what we're about. We have to safeguard. So we have to safeguard people. So it's important. So I think that Scott has actually done a bit of a survey online. So we're going to put it out there for you all to fill in. And basically that is saying, do we want a face-to-face love? Me personally, I'd have one every day a week because I love the things. Can't get enough of them. But obviously we have to protect people in coming in. Do you know, do we want to wear masks? Do we want people to be tested? People, I don't know. There's a lot in it. There's a lot in it and there's a lot to think about. And that's what we have to be doing. So yeah, so that's what the question is really, do you want a face-to-face love? Do we want it to happen? And if we are going to do that, because obviously we got one coming up on the 16th of next month, everybody, bang, I've just put a date out there before anybody else, a bit of plug in. We need to make decisions to protect you all. And remember, and this is what this is about, it's about protecting each and individual out there. So yeah, that form you've got online, what I think Gary's and Scott's put out, please fill it out because it's so important, because it's as simple as if we don't get enough feedback off people out there for what they're thinking, it could possibly make it where we don't have one, because it's affecting so many people. So we really do need to think about it. So yeah, we really appreciate it if you show it people. Let us know your comments, people, if you've been in a previous love, what you thought about it. Get it out there, people, and obviously like and share this, like and share tonight, because it's important. Is that all right, Will? Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying it's all right. Yeah, it's got to be all right. It's done. You're on muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I was awesome, Jay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think with the whole COVID situation, like especially for like us people in addiction, there's like two main things for it, because obviously there's the illness, which can be, and I guess some of us might be vulnerable to it because of what we've done to our bodies.
Yeah, a lot of underlying health issues.
Yeah, but I think the second thing as well is when we're in our recovery, that connection is so important. And from the people that I've spoken to, I'm not sure if this is something anyone else will identify with. They're not so worried about the illness. They're more worried about having to isolate for a long period of time on their own, and kind of taking away all of that kind of good networking that they've got, and it can end up having them feeling quite isolated. Being honest,
well, my head's been a bit pickled with it this week, because obviously I come up positive last week, and I'm being honest, because I've had my jabs and stuff, I never really thought that I'd ever get it. Do you know what I mean? I was quite naive about it and thought, well, I've had my jabs, I'm all right, I'm waiting for my third. I don't really have to discuss it, it'll be all right. It's just a blag like we all think, because a lot of people are thinking that, no, it's just a lie, it's the government sticking something in us that we don't want. No, we'll get it, because I was writ off for 3 days, I couldn't move and my joints were aching, I had banging headache constantly, and loss of appetite, I really were feeling it. And obviously then being away from my pals and not doing my meetings and seeing news, do you know what I mean? It affects you mentally, so it's like, so if that's just happened with me and we have a room full of people and it has that knock-on effect, it's a lot, so we have to think about this.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Jay, can I jump in? I think that we've got somebody waiting in the waiting room. Will, can you have a look to let them in, please?
Yeah, sure. I can't let people in, but whoever can, please do that.
Not a copy, Gary.
Play a bit, mate.
Yeah, it is. Can I just say, and a happy new year to everybody that's wishing all of us a happy new year. And all that I can say is, may I wish good health and good fortune to you all for 2022.
Nice one, Babs. Welcome, mate.
You're all right. I don't know if you can see me. I'm sat in car in dark.
Looking like the priest from The Exorcist, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Lights at back of him.
Careful, your head will start spinning.
Like an halo at back of that, Mick.
Oh, I like that. That's good, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. We'll have that. That's better.
So, like I mentioned earlier, first of all, thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight. We appreciate it so much, and obviously, beyond this, the people in this call, the people watching, I'm sure, are going to get an awful lot learning more about what you're doing with Church on the Street, and just learning a bit more about yourself. We're thinking, as we discussed, around 20 minutes, just to kind of give us a whistle-stop tour of what you've been getting up to, and maybe what your plans are for 2022, etc. That would be absolutely brilliant if we're okay handing it over to you for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's grand. Yeah.
All
Okay.
yours.
Thank you. All right. So, I think first thing to say is that I'm in recovery. I've been in recovery for, I think, about 12 years now. I managed to stay clean all the way through, and I think, well, I know. So, on that journey, my faith grew. So, my faith in a higher power, in God. And the more my faith grew, the less I wanted to use drugs and have a drink. So that's kind of what led me to going away to study and then getting ordained as a Christian minister, and then setting the church on the Street. So I had a bit of a choice, really. So how Church on the Street started was that once I was ordained, or leading up to it, I could have gone and had a nice little church, nice little congregation, my dog, nice little car, housekeeper, and a good wage and a pension for life. Or I could take this tenner that I had, because that's all I had in the world, 10 quid at that time, and go and start church up myself. And I knew that if I didn't just do it with a tenner, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. I knew it. So I took the tenner and went and set Church on the Street up, and basically I had a suitcase and with a few bits of clothes in it. I had a flask and a packet of fags, and I went and sat down outside McDonald's in Burnley on my own, next to an homeless guy, and the church sort of started from there. So it built really quickly. In 2 weeks there were 20-30 people, and then within a month there must have been, sometimes were 50-60 people just turning up, and we were just kind of talking, having brews together, and that went on to the ministry that we're in. And the church has grown really fast, so we're in some different places as well as Burnley now. So I ended up, I have a building, so we've a building. So the ministry that we do, the Church on the Street, pushes outwards, but we also have a building inside. So we come in so that we can go out. So that's the notion of, that's my theology. That's the way I think God is. You come in, find out who you are, so you can go out and give it. And that's what the church is. So our church doesn't look like a contemporary church. This is what our church looks like. I think we've got 10 showers in it. We have a clothes bank. We have a huge food bank. We have an open kitchen that serves hot food every day from morning till tea time. We have offices that are set up for one-to-one recovery work, and also we have counsellors that work for us to help people with trauma and all the things around their addictions and everything else. We have a medical facility that, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys know, a lot of guys who are in addiction are very poorly physically, obviously, but if you miss 3 appointments at your doctors, you lose your doctors, so they don't have access to medical care in the same way that most people would. So we have a medical facility there with a good team. So we employ quite a few people now, so on decent wages, and that's growing. And the centre of it is our church on a Sunday. So everything we do is based around our faith, but it's the centre of it. It's so right down the middle of it is God, and all the other stuff is what's coming out of it. So the work that we do is based on our faith. We believe that this is the way a church should look. But unfortunately, there isn't many churches that I've seen that do look that way. So we believe in service and love and care. Now, on this kind of journey of serving, because there's so many people that kind of come for help and support around mental health, around addiction, around homelessness. We have housing officers. We have people that help to get people into accommodation. I could go on and on. So anywhere where there's unequal access, that's where you'll find poverty. So we stand where poverty is, and we stand for the poor, because that lets us know who we are and how we behave and what we are. And our theology is that we need the poor to know that we are the poor. So we're the same. So you walk into our church, there's nowhere to put money in a box. There's nowhere that says leave a donation. Everything's free for everybody, whether you've got money or you've no money at all. So that makes it equal. And that's why it works. That's why it works so well. So along with it, because there's so many people come to us, then the organisations outside tend to want to come in to work with us, because they can access people that need the help better. So we have the NHS coming in, starting to work with us around mental health out of the building. There's a great aspiration. It looks like it's going to happen. We're going to have our own medical doctor, prescribing doctor in the building. That hasn't happened yet, but it looks like it's pretty close. Well, that'll be just absolutely amazing. We also have drug and alcohol services that engage with us and want to work with us, and we're kind of looking at having a needle exchange in the building. The church looks different because you walk in, there's not many churches that you walk into, and on the reception there's a big box full of condoms and another box full of sanitary towels, which some of the guys that come to us are kind of selling themselves, really, male and female, and they need protection. People need protection in general, you know. So our thing is, it's no good praying for somebody and not putting something there to help them physically. So the spiritual is connected to the physical, and when you try to separate the two, we don't find God, in our opinion, in my opinion anyway. So it's about sort of the two being together, really, as one. So yeah. So I guess the plans are to sort of continue the same. It's kind of growing. We're pushing outwards. We have a charity shop. We're just opening a cafe pretty soon. We've just on the verge of signing to take on another level of the building that we're in. So upstairs, and hopefully, God willing, we're looking to make that into a recovery academy. So that'll be kind of based around things like daycare and lots of other different things that myself and other people have been working on for probably 10 years, and just hoped and prayed that they'd come to fruition, and they are. Things are starting to happen now. I think first and foremost, we are a church, but we're a church that looks like what we believe God would want. So it heals and helps people practically. And like I said earlier, not separating the two, kind of like, you kind of say, oh, I hope you get clean, pal. I wish you get clean. I'm not going to do actually out to help you. Do you know what I mean? You need a clean coat. You need this. You need someone in your pocket. You need something, but I'm not going to give you anything to help you on that journey. That's not really a prayer, is it? Do you know what I mean? The real prayer is, you know, surrendering and submitting to the needs of people. Sometimes people you don't like, you know, because that shows you what you are. And that's how we all get better. So this is why I like the LUF thing. It's because it's community that people heal and get better in community. So you'd never get better or recover on your own, no matter whether that's from addiction or illness or mental health. Never alone. The more you're isolated, the more ill you become. So we're building an alternative sort of community, really. And what sort of helped us is the donations that people have given us. We've never asked for money off anybody. We don't charge for anything that we do. And, you know, just kind of, we just thank God for the support that people have given us, especially over the last couple of years. It's been off the scale, you know. So it says to me that the work speaks. So it's God speaking. The work that we're doing is speaking out, and people are wanting to support it without even being asked, you know. So we're so grateful for that. Unfortunately, because of the nature of what we do, I do a lot of funerals because lots of people take their own life, or they die of overdose or accidental overdose or just natural causes, probably more than your average church. So what we do is we, where possible, well, we pay for people's funerals, and, you know, I don't charge to do the services, don't charge even if they've got money. And we kind of bring some comfort. So we don't just, we follow the families afterwards, if you know what I mean. It's the full, if anyone's ever read the big book, our church is just the big book with Jesus written across the front of it. That's about how I would describe it. That's what we're trying to achieve, and we're all trying to work towards that. And it is working, because we're learning and teaching each other how to surrender on a daily basis, you know, to surrender to God and let go of our own need, and learn how to serve and learn how to care for one another. You know, I think I get lots of people contacting me, and one thing that stuck with me years and years ago was that somebody said to me, "Oh, I seen a homeless guy, and so an addict, like, and I bought him a cup of coffee and a sandwich, and I felt really good as I were walking away." This is what this I think it was a lady said to me, and I stopped and I thought about it, and I thought, do I do that? And I thought, I do, but I do it different. And I just thought, it's not the way we want to go. What we teach, the theology we teach and how we do it, is 2 cups of coffee, 2 sandwiches, sit down next to each other and share it. And not, there you go, off your pop. So it's in that conversation and in that transaction and in that, you know, carrying cigarettes when you don't smoke sometimes, so you can give cigarette to someone who's gagging, and just being with them in that mess that they're in, so you can see your own mess and you can see your own failings and you can share them together. And that's what works. That's why people get clean. That's why they get sober. That's why they get well, you know, and that's just all we're trying to do, really. And some of that's based on the things I've seen, some of it's based on the things I've done, but I remembered very well when I was still using, and I was homeless at the time, and I went into a church and they gave me a cup of tea and a cake, and they were really nice people, but it was time to go out the door, and it was my first night sleeping on straight, and I was a big tough lad, but I was scared, and I was just like, I was scared because I was so ill with my psychosis with smoking the crack, and I didn't know what to do or really where to go or even where to sleep. I didn't want anyone to see me homeless, and I was paranoid and poorly, and they turned me out because they had to. There was nothing they could do. And I ended up in a doorway, and this guy who was homeless and knew the score, he could see me, I was rattling me back out. I needed a drink, I was shaking and everything. And he just come and sat down next to me. He had this big quilt, he wrapped it around me, put it around me, and he were in it as well. He took the hat off his head and put it on me and put the bottle to my lips and poured it in my mouth until I stopped shaking. Then he put a cigarette in my mouth that he'd rolled and he lit it. I didn't meet Jesus in church. I met him in a doorway in Manchester, and it changed my life. I got hope from another addict. And that's the basis that we work from. And in our church, it matters not whether you're using drugs or you're not using drugs, you're no different. We don't separate people into little groups saying you're using, you're not using, because ultimately it doesn't work, because the world doesn't work like that. Where there's separation, there's problems. Where there's togetherness, there's love and there's hope. And we don't look at it like they're in that class and they're in that class, or they're in that corner, they're all clean. You can't come to meetings in this meeting because you're still on a script. We don't do any of that. We just come together and help each other along the way. And I find personally for myself that that's what's worked better. So yeah, it's a different type of church. It's a different type of organization, I suppose, in some respects. People, other churches either love it or hate it. There's quite a lot of both. I think what we do causes problems sometimes because it shines a bit of a light on where organisations that are getting paid to do this stuff are falling a bit short, and they don't always like the fact that this light's being shined on them falling short. So as the world does, they turn and they point and they prod and they say things, but the guys who are getting the help or the support in whatever way possible, they're the ones that I'm interested in, really, not the others. So it's good, it's tough, it's wonderful. For me, it's like a foundation of love because it's messy, it's not slick, it's not well organized, it's just full of love. And I think that kind of love isn't something that you can put in boxes, is it? And kind of just give out, you know, and love is something that's just there, and we have to learn how to access it. And in what we're doing, we're finding a way to access this love that we never had before, and allowing it to come back to us, and we're all being changed and we're all being shaped in it. So I think this coming year is going to be quite a big year for us, really, because we're having to sustain the work that we're doing. So obviously there's more elements for people to get employment and more voluntary options and things like that, which means more sort of logistics of organisation and looking after things. And my job is to make sure that we never ever lose the ethic that I've just talked about. That's my Christian principles or AA principles, however you want to kind of look at it, really. We don't lose that because that's kind of what we founded on, and that's something that we don't compromise on. So we have all these organisations that come into us, but we don't need them for funding, and we don't compromise our ethos for them. They have to compromise for us if they want to come in. So basically, if I go into spontaneous prayer and they don't like it, then they can leave. So that's kind of how it sort of works, you know, because we believe in the power of prayer, but we also believe in the power of doing. We think that's the prayer, you know, they actually physically doing the stuff. So it's working really well. it's really good of you to ask me to come on to just tell you a little bit about what's happening. We're seeing lots of people get well. So believe it or not, people call in to see me on the way to take their own lives a lot. And some change their mind and many carry on and they go and take their own lives. And I know there's nothing I can do, but there's somewhere for them to come. And that's the important thing, you know. And I'd say to people out there, listen, instead of just thinking about all these wonderful ideas you've got and all these things you'd love to do and how wonderful it is you've come into recovery now and isn't it great, I could do, just do it. Just crack on and do it and see what opens up, see what happens. People will support you. Just do it. Don't kind of wait. You know, life's too short. You know, don't see the need, go and stand in it and go and do something for somebody else and be part, you know, kind of surrender your own need and your own wants for others and watch what happens. Just watch what happens. It'll transform your life and others. And I know there's going to be people listening tonight that have got real big dreams, not just in the head, in the hearts. And I know, but you know, no, forget, oh, but you know, get on your knees, pray, get up and go out and do it. And that's how the world gets changed, you know. Give people space to be who they are, encourage them and support them and learn how to love them. And yeah, thank you. You know, thank you for letting me be part of this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor Mick. It's been incredibly powerful listening to that. It's absolutely brilliant to have you on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Barbara come in first. I'm just going to see if she's got anyone online that's got questions for you. I'm also obviously going to open it up to all the lovely folk that we've got on this call here and just like give some feedback, give some questions, etc. and stuff like that. Wonderful.
Yeah. There is so much that has come in, so much love going your way, Pastor Mick. It's absolutely amazing. I've got a couple of questions first. There's a lady called Kat who wants to get involved. Now, I know Kat, and Kat makes woolen hats for the homeless. And I've seen them, and she came to my group and taught us how to do it. And I'm sure that she'll be coming your way. So grab her, because she's very good at making nice warm woolly hats for the winter. Gina is asking, is the church on the street owned or is it subletted? As she is asking because she wants to start her own place to help others, but doesn't have the capital to do so.
Well, so like I said, I started with 10 quid. I had a choice, and sometimes you've just got to step out and do it. So we rent the building, we rent our building. And funny, like the funny thing is, I was looking at buildings that I could afford and they were too small. So I decided to go to look at buildings that I couldn't afford. And then I bid what I could afford. And, you know, you'd be surprised. If you put it out there, you need something, you'll get it for free. You know, if the lady needed something and it were in Burnley and the day were right, the night were right, she'd have our place, it'd be free or a fiver or something. You know, the meetings come to our place, we charge them nothing. It's like, so there's places and people that if you ask, that'll point you in the right direction. You get it for free, I'm sure.
Yeah, brilliant. They are, Gina, and also get into the brick funds as well. That may be able to help you. I've got a lady, Doreen. She has been helping other people for 40 years and she's now 75. Must be something about us 70-odd-year-olds that keeps us going. Old turkeys, Doreen, that's what we are. Do you know what? There is so much. I'd just like to say as well that, hang on, let me get the right part. Somebody has said that it's absolutely heartbreaking sometimes what you have to do, but it's inspirational work. And to see that you can go on to BBC iPlayer, is it because a documentary that you made is on there?
Is that right? Yeah, there is.
Right, go on to there because that is absolutely amazing for anybody who wants to know anything else. I've got stuff everywhere about you that I've written. The most wonderful thing about when somebody is in need, and I know that, I've been there myself, is if you put your hands out and there is somebody there that can just say, we're here and we
Yeah.
feel and we understand. And that can be the most I can't even think of the word how I felt when somebody did that.
Yeah.
And for you to go out on the streets and do that every day, it's amazing. You're not just preaching, you are practicing what you preach, and you are achieving at what you want to get out there. And that is just absolutely astounding.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thank
The
you.
amount of love and coming out, and Emily said that she and her family went to you and you made them so welcome. And there's a lot of people coming on saying that they are going to be contacting you. So I think you're going to be busy in more ways than one.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Okay, back to you, Will.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Barbara. And once again, hello to all you lovely folk that are on Facebook with us this evening. Like I said, I just wanted to also give a quick space for the people that we've got on this call, you know, the people that are involved with LUF. Maybe, you know Pastor Mick himself, and just you know, give some feedback, show him some love for that incredible message you just shared with us. So take it away, guys. Well, there's certainly a few things that I got from it. I love what you're talking about towards the end of just, you know, like, you know, when we come into our recovery, we're often like filled with ideas and stuff like that. And I love that sentiment of just actually start getting it done. You know, connect with your higher power, whoever that, and just go for it. Just bloody go for it. It's such an inspiring story, coming, like you said, coming from literally a tenor to what if I just think also love what you said.
You're going in and out a little bit, Will, sorry.
Well, I tell you what, I'll let someone else take the stage. Jay, Gary, Jamie, whoever, give us.
Yeah. Can I just say before I go any further that Emily has put out, just go and have a cup of tea with them and see how it goes. And that is one of my saying, go and give us a try, because if you don't give it a try, you don't know what you're missing. Okay, Jay.
Yeah, this is kind of, I don't know if it's a personal question, but it's faith, obviously. So my question to you is, why is it so important to have a faith in your recovery?
For me, the only way I can answer it is that I was always the center of my own world, and I couldn't see outside of myself with my mental illness, with my addiction. There was nothing that existed outside of me. Faith, even if it's in faith in that when I get up tomorrow morning, it's going to be light instead of dark. That's a beginning. I needed something that wasn't me, because me was killing myself, was destroying myself, and I couldn't stop it. I couldn't stop it, even with my willpower only got me so far. So I needed something that wasn't me. So I'd end up like, right, so I'd get a girlfriend or a good gym, or I'd do this or I'd do that. And that didn't work, because gym was shut. Girlfriend had let me down, but she wouldn't understand me. So in the end, it had to be something else. And that's for me, why a kind of faith in something that isn't human is really, really important. I don't think it matters in the beginning of your journey what that is or how you look at it. I believe God will decide that for you. I think you've just got to say, there might be something else other than this. And it's that's the kind of the seed for peace. I know that what it's like to be in recovery without much faith and I know what it's like to be in recovery with faith. And I started off praying to a God that I didn't believe in, because I needed to do something. I needed to give it a go because I was going to relapse. My head was falling off. Do you know what I mean? And it has to begin somewhere. So for me, I think faith's important because it's not you. You are not God. Do you know what I mean? And that's what helped me so much.
Did you ever envisage like your life now and what you're doing and the life you are changing? Did you ever comprehend how big it get?
No. No. I mean, my wife, a funny story how I met my wife. I won't go into it too much, but she were a mess. She were on point of death. And I prayed for her. She's an alcoholic, an addict, and she never used again. And then a couple of years later, we kind of got together. But she believed that what I was doing 10 years ago, 8 years ago, she kind of sort of almost told me what had happened. And I used to just laugh at her. I used to just think she's a nutter, do you know what I mean? But I love her, you know. Well, she did. She kind of knew. She's not surprised. I'm still in shock every day. I get up every day, and then some of the phone calls I get and the people that contact me and the emails I get and then the opportunities I get, I'm like, this is ridiculous. But this is how I know it's not me. It must be God for me, because I couldn't do that stuff. If I wanted to go on BBC TV, get on radio, do this, write a book, do that, no chance of that happening. Absolutely zero chance. You couldn't make these things happen. But when you're doing things, I think for me, the glory of God and about bringing healing to other people and yourself, then the magic happens, you know. So no, I couldn't have imagined. I'm in shock every day. I'm kind of surprised, yeah, every single day. So every day is a fresh day as well for me now. It's like, it's exciting, even when I'm tired and I'm like, oh, it's still exciting because I get to see so many good things mixed in with the problems, you know, the real sad stuff, you know, the things I talked about, like the horrible, you know, just doing the amount of funerals and people, you know, I did a funeral on Friday, you know, tough stuff.
Obviously, you've had a lot of people in Burnley at the moment, and you've had a lot of passings over in Burnley at the moment.
Yeah.
So how's that affected your congregation? Has it affected people?
I think that it brings us together, you know. It kind of, instead of like, it seems to have the opposite effect. It gels us together. It's a funny thing. So if the community or the church we're talking about, church on the street, it's like, imagine this, right? So if you come to our church, right, this is a guarantee. You're part of our church, you'll never, ever, ever go hungry again, ever. You'll never, ever, ever have to go out gas and electric again. If you die, your family dies, you'll never have to worry about getting the money together to bury them. You know, if all the kind of thing, if you get mental health, you won't need to worry. We've got people that can sort you out. If you relapse, we've got programs that can help you and we can push you into and can support you. And that's a church. Do you know what I mean? So you go to your local church, I don't think you're going to get that. So what I'm saying is, this is a community. It's bigger than just one person failing. So when tragedy comes, we bind together in this community to support and help each other. So virtually, you know, you see lots of people on Facebook saying, have you got a bed for somebody? Have you got this for somebody? We don't need to do any of that. Somebody walks in, oh, I'm really struggling. And I don't even have to ask. I'm really struggling. I've just got this house. I'm really struggling, mate. Anybody can help me? Bing, 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 bing. Everything's put in place because the people just want to give and support and to help and get the other person on the feet. It's quite remarkable. So it tends to have the opposite effect. It tends to gel us together when the tragedy comes, you know. So, yeah.
Oh, Gina has just put on, Pastor Mick, you astound me with your humility and humbleness. You are really unconditional and selfishness. I think it should say, it never ceases to amaze me, but it's come out in a few other ways.
That's all right. I think my wife would disagree, but you know, thank you. Sat next to me, she went, "Oh, you look at selfless. You don't give me. You've got a big bar of chocolate here with me in car," and she's slabbering looking at it. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what, Pastor Mick? But doesn't it show what when you put a few passionate people together, what a huge difference it can make?
Yeah,
You know,
I think it has to be us, not me,
Yeah.
and that's the key to recovery. We do recover, not me do recover. We do recover, and it has to be us, not me. And when you can start to, even I had to learn how to change the language you were speaking. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm speaking about myself. I had to learn years ago to talk about us, because that's what kind of frees me. I've had to reprogram my thinking almost. I have to ask God to do it for me, because I couldn't, and it's always in the we, not in the me, you know.
Yeah.
There you go, that's the punchline. So yeah, it's in the we, not in the me.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Has anyone else on our Zoom here got any more feedback at all? Gary, anything else from Barbara?
No, I think I've put most of it out. Just that Emily is saying that she's on Rossendale Radio a week on Wednesday, speaking about her pathway that she's coming through, her recovery. And Doreen has said, this is what a church should be doing, being out on the street and not in a building all the time. I agree with that. That's all I have to say. Next.
Brilliant. Oh, well, I just want to say it again to you, Pastor Mick. Thank you so much for being here. It's something that I've personally got a lot out of, and you know, it sounds like everyone else has too. So won't keep you any longer. Just from the bottom full of our love. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. You take care. And I'm going to chuck it in there before I go. God bless. See you later.
Thank you.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Awesome. Oh, that was really, really powerful. You know, I think it's just it gives you a lot of hope when you know when you're in your darkest moments and you don't understand that any of this help is out there, and you slowly start coming around to this realization that it can be found. More needs to be done. Don't get me wrong, but there are all of these different levels. You know, an organisation like Church on the Street. I guess also what we do with Lancashire User Forum. Resounding sense of hope. I think it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And speaking of, very recently we had our first county LUF in 2 years with COVID and all of that kind of stuff getting in the way, and it was a really, really special day. A really special day for over 100 people that attended, and I was essentially tasked with just making a video about it. And now, like anything in recovery, it wasn't all plain sailing. We had issues with audio. We had issues with storage on computer. Any weird issue that you could have with making a video, we probably had. But before we get onto this video, which we're going to premiere to you just in a couple of minutes, I first of all want to say thank you to everyone that was there taking part in, you know, all the different organisations, and to the two incredible life stories that we had from Gary and from Jason. Now, these life stories are going to be available in full. This is all going to be posted onto our social medias and our website soon. But what I've put together is a short video which I hope kind of gives the atmosphere of the event and what LUF's all about, because I think that is one of the big barriers of recovery. You hear all of these names, you hear the name God, you hear the name oh, you know, you being together, starting to take responsibility, being less selfish, all of these crazy things. And sometimes it just needs to be shown, I think, you know, much like Pastor Mick was saying, you know, instead of being in the head, actually doing it, showing it. You know, I think there's a lot of parallels in that sentiment, although obviously we aren't directly associated with an organized religion. So I'm gonna screen share now. Hopefully this will work, and I'm just going to show you the video that we've put together. If the video is a bit patchy with my internet connection, it will be available on the social medias with the live stories in full too, so don't worry too much. But I will try give this a go now. Let me just go onto here. Microphone. Sweet. Lovely. Can people see my screen?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. Let's give this a shot.
Hands up who's not been to LUF before.
Just looking around and just looking at the faces, you know, when I just look at you and I don't see just you, you know, I see your mum, your dad, aunties, brothers, uncles, sisters. Do you know, I'm here today because I'm trying to pass a message on. From where I've been, do you know, you won't believe 5 months ago I was actually finishing an 11-year prison sentence. So that's why we do this, to say we're real and we're recognisable, do you know. And I get passionate around it because I believe in it. Do you know, and that's what this is about. It's about believing in yourselves and believing in everybody around you. Be alright. Feelings don't kill, do they? This is me, man. This is my life I'm giving to you. And we've all got that experience. We've all got that hurt and pain and regret and remorse in ourselves. I'm shaking because I'm excited about it. So where do I begin? Do you know, at 6-year-old I was clinically classed as an addict. In England, one of the youngest peoples in British history ever to have a detox at 6-year-old. That's where my life began. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll stand up for that. Yeah, I'll be recognised for that, because that's the shit what happens. That's the reality. It was me, man. Do you know, it was me. It was nobody. I could walk into a shop or I'd walk past people's houses and they was having Sunday dinners and we'd sit chippy on a Friday afternoon or whatever. At 7 and 8-year-old, I was robbing houses with my brother. I didn't rob it for your money. I didn't rob it for your gold or your tongue or whatever you want to call it. I got it for the fucking jam butter. Do you know, a jam butter? Because at the end of it, what's all that? Do you know, I've been through counselling through that because that had an effect on my life, man. And I seen life differently. I resented everybody and got angry with everybody. I feel that. Do you know, and I can't give it you, I can't express that. I was just constantly moving from home to home, to family, to mum, to nana. I come to me 16, you know, I give all that shit. Do you know, streets, lads, gangs, whatever. Not feeling a pal. Do you know, at 16-year-old I was sentenced to a 3-month for 48, which all right, was a fucking laugh. I didn't realise when I was a kid looking out the window, 10-year-old sniffing drugs and doing whatever, sniffing gas, that's where I would have ended up. You know, so eventually I've ended up pinching cars, robbing houses, doing all that, because I didn't have an home here, I didn't have a family, I didn't feel loved at home, and I never had that. I really struggled around it. 16th I was in jail, do you know, 17th I was in jail, 18th I was in jail, 19th I was in jail, 20th I was in jail. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of, me. That's where it took me, my addiction. Didn't give me a big house, all nice cars and all that, because I never understood any of that. Too fucking angry, and all I wanted to do was just inject and get away from me. Because I couldn't deal with the shit that I've been through.
You know, like president of the United States and all of, I would have been an addict because that's who I am inside. I'm just wired up a little different than most people.
You've got to hit rock bottom in your mind and body Only you can climb up and become a better somebody. There is the
Go on a family group and to help you understand. So I did. So it was
10 years ago in the Lancashire User Forum, I stuck my head above the parapet.
So in times, you know, I learned how to walk again, and I learned to see on my eye, and I learned how to use my hand again. Do you know what I mean?
Which that's what we do, because we people there who help us along the journey. Then, 10 years on, under my reign anyway, we have 2 jobs. Glenn, where's Glenn? Stick your hand up, Glenn. Stand up, Glenn. Come on.
We've had people that have come for them jobs that have just had qualifications and no lived experience, and what we've had to say is, no, you don't meet the criteria.
Yeah,
so what we're trying to do is give people opportunity to work in them settings. We've got, at the minute, we're in 9 different police stations across Lancashire and Cumbria, and we're looking for more leaders within our community. So get on the website and start applying, guys.
Yeah.
And then we should be looking for our emerging leaders, identifying them and saying, here's the baton, off you go, tell us what the next 10 years are going to be like. Because one of the things we was absolutely unapologetic about was we wanted to identify existing resources and put them to work in a better way.
There we go. I hope people could hear sound there and that I wasn't too jittery. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again for everyone coming down to that event. You know, we turn up and we find buildings and that, but it's not about any individual really that makes it happen. It's about that, again, resonating what Pastor Mick said. It's about the community. It's about people turning up. It's about people wanting to find a solution after so long of not knowing how or not knowing what to do. So I just thought I'd just give a very quick space before I bring Jamie in, just to speak about people's own experiences at that LUF event, and you know how they felt that day was and what they got from it. So again, I'll open up to Barbara, Jason, Gary, and Jamie just to feedback about how they felt the event went.
I was at that event and the atmosphere in there was brilliant. I was sat at a table with a load of lads that had come from, I'm not even sure where they were from. It was the first time they'd ever been to anything like the LUF, and they totally got into it and really enjoyed it and learned such a lot from it. And the comments that they were just coming out with, and I was listening there, I was really proud to have been part of it. And I absolutely, totally enjoyed it. And I can't wait for the next one. I hope, fingers crossed. Over to you, guys. You're on silent, guys. Come on.
Jay, do you want to say something, Jamie?
Yeah, that was my first love as well. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know there were that many opportunities. I didn't really know what recovery was. I just got clean in the past and stuff and stopped, do you know what I mean? And just to see everything, what was going on and hear other people's stories and just like connect with people, it was fantastic, yeah. So we've got groups for a week. On a Monday, we've got Charlie, 10 till 12. Tuesday, we've got men's group, 1 till 2:30. Then there's a women's group, 12 till 2. Wednesday, we feed the homeless down at St. James's Church. Big shout out to Greg's and Eat Indian. Absolutely hook us up. Can't thank them enough. Fantastic stuff, them. Thursday, we've got Connect and Craft, 10 till 2. And then we've got Brew and Banter at 11 till 1. Football starting back in Feb. We're just waiting on a date for that. And me and Will are going to start up a group called Recovery Rise, just where we go out on bikes, have a chat, and then go for a coffee. If you've got a bike, that'll help. But we're going to look on trying to get some funding for bikes and stuff. So hopefully, if you've not got a bike, you'll still be able to get involved. And don't worry about your level of fitness or whatever. We'll go fast together. We'll go to slow together. Whatever it is, we'll just do it together. That's that.
So much for that. And Gary, did you have something you wanted to mention as well, pal?
Yeah, I just wanted to, just go back to that live LUF Lounge, face to face, first one in 2 years, man. It was my first one ever. It was awesome, man. And the amount of work everyone put in to make that happen, behind the scenes, it was phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? Now I've been in addiction, whatever, for I've had 30 years plus experience, and that was one of the very first times I've seen different organizations coming together, getting in a room, chatting, mixing. I've never seen that before. And that for me, shows that we're onto a winner, man. We've got some, people are starting to listen, people are starting to connect. So I can't wait for this next year, mate, start moving forward. It said in your video there with Pete saying, what's the next 10 years going to look like? I think big things are going to happen, man.
Yeah.
Big things are going to happen. But yeah, it was a great video. Thank you for that. But yeah, man, everyone that was involved, behind the scenes, the rest of the central team, man, Nicola, Scott, Kim, Sarah, everybody that made that possible, that tipped up to their meetings as well and had their input and had their little bit of influence. That's what made that event. Yes, me and Jace stood up and put our story out, but we weren't the only ones that had a story that day, everyone put graft in, and I really, really thank them for that. So yeah, and just so everyone knows, keep an eye out for Will and Jamie, because they're coming. Yeah, the next big things, I'm telling you.
We don't bite, we promise. And also, whilst we're on thank yous, big up to Team North and Team East as well. You played critical roles in that day. We love you so much, and let's do more shit together. We're in this together. I love you guys. I love you guys so much.
Yes,
yes. Jason, have you got any remarks on that incredible LUF that we had?
So we got all night.
Yes.
Just keep liking and sharing. This is how we get our voice and our opinions across, man. As you can see, unfortunately, we had 2 live stories there that day, and that was fantastic doing that. But yet on the back end, like Gary's just said, all the people that put a lot of work in, people it took hours to do. We're not just talking like a day or a couple of hours. This has been days and days in the planning, and even after that, with you, Will, doing the filming and editing, and you spent hours doing that stuff. Jamie getting involved, Babs getting involved with their time, Nicola from Red Rose, Scott. Everybody's had massive input in it, and all the other localities, and also massive big up, man. Big up, big up, big up. Sound like a 12-year-old. And that's what it's about. It's about coming together, realising it's not about you, like Nick was saying. It's about being a collective, and we can do it together. We can do that together. We can't do it on our own, can we? This is how we get it across. But like we said before this all started, we ain't going to do the next one if we don't understand about this COVID stuff. So we asked you earlier on. So I'm going to ask you again. You've been given a form online. Please, people, it is important to get it out there, because hopefully next month we've got a live LUF, but we don't know how it's going to happen. So obviously we want people's opinion about that. It ain't just about us, like we keep telling you all. Is that okay?
Absolutely. And whilst we're on, we're kind of coming towards the end of our agenda, but raised a key opinion, the opinion of you guys. Coming into this next year, something that Gary's felt really passionate about, and I completely agree with else. But we as an organisation do not understand what we have lived experience. We understand your story, but we want to get your feedback. What do you think look like? What would you do different? What would you continue to do the same? Because we think we can only do better together. I think that's really key. So we're going to put together over the coming week a similar form, but about the overarching services of Red Rose User Forum, where we just want you to anonymously just give us some feedback. Like what do you like, what do you not like, what you've done better, because that's like I said before, making any experience you have as good as it is for you. It's not about it and telling you what's right, because you guys know what's right for you. And we want that. It's really important to us. So like I said, coming weeks, our form will be out to you, so we can adjust and improve on, because we want to, how does the next 10 years look like? I have, and that's really excellent. Have we got anything on social media, Barbara? Anything else anyone would like to cover whilst we got this space open?
Yeah. Emily from Accrington has come on. She said she has 2 groups up there. One of them Monday at the Lancashire Women's Centre, 12:30 to 2 p.m. And then over Wednesday at 10 till 12 in Mick Morgan's Community Cafe, free sausage butties. It'll be worth the train ride. Definitely will. So can't wait for the next LUF. And it's after the couple of years that we've had, this is what working together makes happen. Just hope that we are allowed through all the COVID to carry on doing what we're doing, because we're getting there and we're doing it well. And thank you, gentlemen. Back to anybody.
Lovely. Well, in that case, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone online. I want to thank everyone here on the Zoom call. Although he's not here, Pastor Mick, incredible story. I've taken so much from that. Everyone else has. These LUF Lounges are on every Saturday from 5. And I know certainly in Preston, Saturday's a bit of a weird day for like meetings with other stuff like that. 5 o'clock on a Saturday sometimes a bit of a Saturday. So get out there, keep on finding recovery, connect with people. That's just like Pastor Mick said, do it together. It's we in our us, it's not I anymore. So thank you very much. Love goes out to all of you. And you all brilliant start to the year. I've got a lot for all of you. And we'll see you next week. So
yeah.
I will see.
So I will sign out for us all. So I will switch this off, and all I can
just before we go, people.
Go on.
Just
sorry.
Before we go, can we, if you'd like to know what's going on in the community, download the Red Rose Recovery app. Also, if you download Telegram, and you'll get added to that group, and that'll give you all the information of any groups, any changes that are coming up. So again, download the app. If you don't know how to do that, contact someone from Red Rose. They should be able to help you out.
Okay, so signing off from all of us, wishing you all good health and wealth for 2022, and we will see you, this will be on Lancashire User Forum next week. Bye.
Bye,
everyone.
Get involved.